Hi guys, my name's Sam from Pioneer DJ. Today we're going to be looking at the DJS-1000 again. The previous video I did was on live sampling. Today we're going to be looking at some of the effects and how we can use them in a live scenario. Okay guys, so this is the second video out of two that we've done for Bob DJ on the DJS-1000. Within this video, I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about the effects and cleaning up your mix. This is very much production related. The first video was live sampling from the CDJ Nexus 2000. Again, I'm synced up to my Nexus here. So this is taking the BPM from the CDJ here. And I've created a bit of a track, not the best I must admit, but the purpose for this is showing you how to use the effects effectively to clean up your mix, whether, especially in a live way, but also if you've done some live production on the DJS-1000. So here's the track. As you can see, everything's coming in really hot as it usually does when you produce music. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my mixer section here. So on the home page, mixer section here, this is showing me what's coming in a bit too hard, what's coming in a bit too fast, etc. And it allows me to do a bit of a stereo mix. All I'm going to do is click on each track. I'm just going to bring them down. So already, that high end on these pads here now sounding a lot more cleaner. So the second thing I've noticed is if I hold mute, click mute and hold shift, I'm going to solo my bass here, which is a very undertone bass. This is just to warm the track up. You don't really hear this. It's just making the track sound a little bit warmer. And I have my kick here. Now if I play them together, I now really need to duck this bass to this kick here. So if I click onto the track, it shows me the information. And if I go into effects here and select effect, you've got a choice of 10 effects you can have per track. So you've got chorus, flanger, 2-band EQ, filter, delay, lo-fi compression, distortion, phaser, and a ducker. I'm going to use a ducker, which is similar to sidechain compression. However, it's not compressing the sample. This is just ducking it towards the kick. So now when I select my source, which is going to be track 1, which is my kick, you can now hear that bass is now ducking along with my kick. If I turn the ducker off, a lot heavier, that's now really warm sound against my kick drum. The next thing I'm going to do is unmute these again. I'm going to solo these two here. Really cool sub-bass effect there on it. And I'm going to duck this to my hat. If I go into effects here, select effects ducker. Already selected track 6. Lost a bit of the gain, but not to worry, because on our pan pot here we have a gain for this bass. Perfect. So I've also added in here some little stabs and little effects. You've probably heard this. We've got some cowbell in there. Just some percussion, and then we've got a nice little zap to fill it towards the end of the bar. So if I click on this zap, I'm going to add, I want to make this a little bit more interesting. I'm going to go to an effect called delay. I'm sure you all know what the delay is. I'm going to turn my mix ratio up, a little bit of feedback, and now, or if I can turn it all the way, you get a longer delay. But I'm pretty happy where that is there. Next, we have this effect here. Now for this one, I'm going to use some bit of distortion on this. So I'm going to turn this drive up. I'm going to crunch it out a bit. Now that sounds a lot better if you ask me, a lot more crunchy, a bit more grungy. Next we have a little stab here, and for this I'm going to use a phaser. So now it's sounding a lot more phasier. Next one is the cowbell. I'm going to leave the cowbell there because I like it as a dry sound. This here, I'm going to use a delay again. Pull the feedback a little bit. And then the next sound is another percussion. And for this, again, I'm going to use a delay. So now when we press play, our levels are going to be a little bit more out because we've added effects on our tracks, but let's give it a go. A lot more interest in the sound, and this is what the DJS can do for your mixing and your production. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the effects here. Now these are different to the effects you can have per track. This is very much a live function within the DJS-1000. So you have an effects panel here button. When I click that, you've got the choice of, these are the live effects that you're going to be using. So you've got high pass, a low pass filter, dub echo, pitch, lo-fi, reverb and plated reverb. So let's listen to what they sound like. So this one is the low pass filter. And I think the beauty of the effects here, you've got two controls here to control resonance and slope. Now these will control the parameters of each effect you have. For example, if I have reverb on, it's now controlling my room size and my dampening. If I have pitch on, it's going to tell me whether I want to pitch it up or down, and so on and so on. For this one I'm going to use a high pass filter. Now you will notice that there is some of this track bleeding through. I've purposely done this to show you that you can actually turn on certain tracks or certain performance pads and allow them to bleed through the effect itself. So if I click select track, and so long as they're all highlighted, this is going to affect everything. Select my track and turn my kick off, it'll allow my kick to bleed through the effect. So on and so on. You can do this with any one of these tracks. So let's have the effect, the bass as well. So on and so on. It's a really cool feature with the DJS-1000, especially that you can turn on and off these performance pads and allow these to bleed through the effect that you've selected. Another thing you can do is if I click home, you can actually group these together. So you don't have to find out which one you're going to select. You can already pre-map this before a show. If I go into track settings, you'll notice we've got two functions here called color and instrument. So considering I sidecheck or I ducked this bass here to my kick, I'm going to select this bass here and I'm going to make it the same colour as my kick. So these two are now the same colours. I'm also going to give it an instrument, just a musical note for now. I also sidechain these two together. So I'm going to make these two tracks the same colour. I'm going to make that an instrument. Again, instruments entirely up to you. Let's just make it a keyboard for now. So these two are now grouped together and these two are now together, and the last one I'm going to group is some percussion up here. I'm just going to do that through colour. Now when I click an effect and let's say I go, we'll stick with high pass filter. I like the high pass filter, it's a really nice sound. Resonance I've turned quite high up. When I press play and I turn my effect on, I select track and I select colour, I can now turn both of these off because they're grouped. Turn them off and I can turn these ones off if I'd like. And there you go. So the grouping is a really cool feature with the DJS-1000 because, again, it allows you just to organise what you're going to be affecting before you play out live. So just to show you this within a mix, I've got a track that I'm going to play here. And just to clean this up a little bit, I'm just going to add a sweep to this to sort of chop it up a bit. So on this deck here, I have this sample with a sweep on, and I have this sample here. So just to show you guys what I've done, I'm just going to do a very quick mix using the effects here and how you can use it within a live mix. So I've just created a very quick loop here. I've added a sweep and I've hottened it up a bit with my parameter function here. I've got this running in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create sort of like a false build up and then drop this back in. So let's turn my bass off. There you have it, guys. That's how you can use the effects constructively to make build up and breaks down. You can also use it to create cool new funky sounds, if you will, within your mix. So this is these two back together. So there you have it, guys. There's the DJS-1000, some of the effects that you can use in production and in a live scenario. Keep on checking out the YouTube channel for Bot DJ. I'm going to be doing another video. So as I previously said, the first one was live sampling, this one was effects. We'll see what's to come next.